Hello and welcome. We are heading into the final stretch of the Global Game Jam, but there is still time to sign up at globalgamejam.org. Today we're going to be talking with Diana. She's a partnership director at JCI. Hello, Diana. What's going on?
Hi, Max. So happy to be here with you and all the people that are jamming right now.
Yes, it's a big event. There's a lot of people signed up. It's very exciting. But yeah, tell me about JCI. There's a lot to talk about today.
So I'm sure your jammers are as excited and as passionate about your event as I am about the organization that I'm a part of. I've been a part of JCI, just Junior Chamber International. This is what it stands for, since 2013, and I've been on this
Wow.
long journey that I love and I keep loving. And this is about leadership development. This is about, developing skills that you might need. And I started in 2013 as a member in JCI Bucharest, where I'm based. I'm based in Bucharest, Romania. Great city. Come and visit. Anytime. You'll love it. And I just needed something in my life. I know it was like right after the big economic downfall, the financial crisis, and I
Yep.
lost my job at that point. And for
Oh
me, it was
man.
extremely personal, and I spun into this depression, and
Mm.
I felt like I was worth like so little, and my self-confidence was falling, and everything was seemed so dark. Then I got another job, and I started to pick myself up, but then I said I would never again let myself be represented by only one thing in my life, because I am more than my job. I am more than
Absolutely.
my parents' daughter. I'm more than a wife. I am just more than that. I'm all those things. Uh,
Hmm.
so I found JCI. Actually, JCI found me because it was doing this wonderful project of mentoring students. And I said, yeah, I feel like that would give me a sense of accomplishment if I could mentor a student who just starting in their career. And that's what they were doing, and somebody recommended JCI, and they're like, if you want this bubble of people that dream big, and that are very positive and optimistic, and that aren't all doom and gloom all the time.
Like it's heavy.
And yeah, that don't want, they believe in changing the world, and they do it as volunteers, and they really do believe that our world can be better. And I am an idealist. I've been like that since I was really young, and now
Hmm.
almost 40, but people still, like telling me, you'll get over it, you'll get over it. Guys, I'm just that person. I'm
Right.
incurable.
You're like, it's not a phase, mom.
Definitely not a phase. Definitely not a phase. And then I volunteering, I think, was a part of my life since I was very young, and I felt like this is the place to be for people who want to share and want to give to others and to their communities and build this better world that we are all talking about. So
Sure.
I joined in 2013, and then I started, climbing this leadership ladder that we have in JCI. And when you
Yep.
get to have these roles, we have this 1 year to lead philosophy. So you get to have one role every year, and then have some experience, in being elected, and then in, running and managing volunteers, which is so hard. And I know you guys know that.
It's a lot.
But it taught me immensely. And I went all the way through at international level, when where you get this international. We are present in 105 countries around the world. uh,
Wow.
yeah, our biggest membership base is actually in Japan, which is a very different culture from Europeans. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, it was quite a journey. And it's still happening.
I mean, that's so exciting. Like just hearing you speak, I can sense the passion that you have for JCI and all that they do. And I mean, giving people leadership skills, that's so important. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and with the process of helping people gain these soft skills?
So, leadership, we believe that leadership should be approached in a holistic manner. So, we don't
Sure.
think that a person can be developed only on in one side of their ability and be a good leader nowadays. So, we approach this by developing leaders in four areas of opportunity.
Oh.
Yes, that's how we call them. One area of opportunity is business. So we teach people how to be better professional, how to think like an entrepreneur, how to
Mm,
have this entrepreneurial mindset and an approach to life in general, not only an approach to business. And then another area of opportunity is community. We teach people how to, impact, how to be mindful. We always like to joke that JCI is about business with a heart. So be mindful of your community, on your impact on the world. And that's what we're also developing. Another area of opportunity is personal development. And we have a lot of trainings that people can attend, a lot of master classes, one of the
Sure.
great courses that we made available. And they're actually taught by JCI members. And
Cool.
yes, so we have some of our best trainers teach a course on a bit online. It's a recording. It's a course that's available on a platform, um,
Mhm.
and you can get skills in those four areas of opportunity. And the last one is internationalism. So what we're offering are um, exposure to different cultures and a better understanding of the world. Um,
Sure.
a lot of us are based in our own countries and tend to be, how should I call it, very eye centric.
Right. Like you know what you see around you, not realizing it's different somewhere else. Yeah.
Yes, and even interactions, even like simple things like communicating what's appropriate,
Sure.
distance, body distance, body language, or is it appropriate to touch somebody on their arm? And I'm not talking inappropriately, but even
Yeah. Like a hey, yeah.
which the Americans and Europeans will so easily do, and that's so considered so inappropriate in other parts of the
They're like, no,
world.
no, no, don't touch me.
Yeah, totally don't do that. There's a much bigger distance that you need to keep, and those are the things that you learn in practice, actually. And it's very interesting to get accustomed to it. When I went to Japan, because we have an amazing academy in Japan, 10 days, and you spend them in a Japanese family the
Oh,
first
wow.
days, and you're hosted by Japanese people. It's incredible access in a culture that is really closed, so you will not get this kind of experience as a tourist.
No, not at all.
Japanese people are not that open. But you get to go to their home, and you're hosted by Japanese people, and yeah, it was a big learning curve, and we were taught. I was taught ahead of time not to raise my voice, because raising your voice is acceptable, and they will think that you are incredibly. They will take great offense at this.
Oh, like it's rude.
Very rude, and
Oh, wow.
they will only raise their voice if it's something incredibly
Like
bad
dire. Yeah.
happening, or dire, or so.
Wow.
Yes, and we were told not to raise, our voices, and then not to compliment things in their house.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
yes.
I'm so guilty of that. I'm like, "Oh, I love your couch," or "I love your lamp," or
They're not allowed to do that, because they feel when they host somebody, when they have somebody over, if you compliment an object, they feel they have to offer it to you as a gift.
What? Oh my
It's a
gosh.
Well, you're like, people offered family heirlooms, and because they feel if you like it, then you want it, and if you're their guest, then you should have it.
Oh my gosh.
So it was hilarious. I went to their house, and I kept thinking, and I said, oh my God, you know, their house is very different. The way they live is very different from
Sure.
what I was used to. And I felt, being raised as a polite person, I was like, you just don't enter a house and say, you have to say something.
Yeah,
And I thought,
yeah.
say nice house. They're not going to give me the house. So yeah, they didn't offer me the house.
They like hand you the keys. They're like, all right. No.
And funny thing, for example, I was in Tokyo. Did you know that very few households actually have internet in Tokyo?
I didn't
Because
know
Japanese
that.
people don't want to give their kids access to internet.
Sure.
Uh, so it's very interesting because expectations of when you think Japan, you think of this, and it is very technological, very developed
Yeah.
country. And then when you go to their home and you see how people live, like not having Wi-Fi was incredible to me, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was an experience that I would recommend to everybody, and it, it really is unprecedented access. And when you join JCI, the great thing about it is that you own a couch in 105 countries.
So you were
Yeah.
able to have this experience because of JCI.
Yes, 100.
Wow.
This is something that actually JCI Japan offers to the future national presidents from all 105 countries, and they actually offer it free of charge. So
What?
to do, all you have to do is pay your plane ticket. But
And
to get
wow.
of national president, it is a lot of work and a lot of dedication and a lot of volunteering, right? So it's kind of a
Right.
recognition that JCI Japan, and a chance that it gives these people that work so hard to get to that level, to become these global perspective on the world. And at
Sure.
the end of the day, I think the best thing you can have is friendships and
Oh yeah.
relationships. And I was looking into some research about how the best predictor about how long you're going to live is not related to your income or to any other things, but how many quality relationships you have in your life.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Actually, that is the best predictor of that. And I
You
think
know,
if
oh, go
you're
ahead.
looking for quality relationships,
JCI is where it's at, right?
this is where you will find them, because I really built um, these very strong, long-lasting friendships, and even in COVID times, when people would comment, because it was a stressful time, and people would say, things in Australia are like that, or things in this place are like that, and having the possibility to just like ask a person, you know are things like that, how are things in Australia, how are things over there, what's
Yeah,
happening, what's your government doing, or how are you handling this. And I think it's incredible, as a network and as an opportunity to build those relationships.
absolutely. Like speaking about relationships being so important, I had read somewhere like they interviewed like 100 people who were 100 years old and they asked them like, how'd you make it?" And all of them had said they had friends until the end. And so, yeah, I think, yeah, just being surrounded by people that are like minded and want to get involved. And it's just, I don't know, it gives you the feel goods, those special moments. But there is a partnership that's happening with the Global Game Jam and JCI. Can you talk a little bit about what you all are offering for the participants?
Yes, I'm very excited, first of all, to have these two great communities connected because we share a lot of, values. We share a lot of the way that we see the world. We are change makers, and we want to see that change happen within our lifetime.
Yes. I love that word, change makers.
Yeah, that's who we call ourselves. One of the things, one of the perks of this partnership, so to speak, is access to our master classes. You can find the master classes in a link. I think we can share it after,
Yeah.
or you will receive all the information about this offer. The master classes right now, we have two that are released: Global Entrepreneur and Global Networker. With Global Entrepreneur, you're gonna find out more about how you should approach starting a business, how you should, where do you start,
It's
and
so
how do
big.
you
There's
go
so
about
much.
it. It's a lot, and I think the people that you will see that are training are real people, so they're not these, uh, you know, um, Elon Musks of the world.
Right. That are like work 50 hours a day or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. They're just like always working.
We are also about quality of life.
Yes.
We Some of the best trainers at JCI say that you can't really give when you can't give of yourself when you yourself are not okay. So you make sure that you are okay before you give to others. So the master classes are online. They're $75 per course, and you also get a diploma at the end, graduation diploma. You can, go through the courses at your own pace. There's a lot of reference material that you can get from the course. But for you guys, especially for 1 month only, you get to get the two master classes for $120 bundle price.
Wow. Thank you.
Well, we want you to see what incredible people we have and what kind of learning opportunities we offer. So maybe in the future, you guys would consider also joining JCI and being a part of our community as well.
I mean, I'm inspired just by talking to you for 15 minutes. So
Oh, thank you.
but we do have someone else joining us. Evie, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on?
Hello, nice to meet you all. Yeah, I just popped in after work, so here I am.
And Evie, tell me about your part in JCI.
I became a member when I was 23, and I am now sadly too old since we have
No.
an age limit from 18 to 40. But I can tell you this almost 18 years has been a blast, and I can't believe I've been a member for 18 years almost.
Wow.
Um, when I started, I was even afraid to stand up and say my name because many of the things that we do in JCI is train on things that you're doing usually.
Sure.
Sometimes it is a bit weird when you know everyone around the table to stand up and say, hello, my name is Eva Maria Tofte. I'm coming from there, and this is me, and this is what I work with. But at the same time, it's training. It's training for when you are in this situation, go like, hi, and instead of just, choking up.
Yeah, giving you
So
the
it's
confidence to speak and have those soft skills.
definitely, and we have, like, I don't know if you talked about the four pillars, but it's individual and business, international, and community. So for me in the beginning, it was very individual. For me, it was important to learn how to speak in front of people. Public speaking for me was very, very important for me. Hated
Sure.
projects, couldn't stand them. And then after 3 years, I became a professional speaker for a company doing telling children and youth about the internet bullying, because so I did that for 10 years.
Yeah, wow.
And then someone lured me into some projects. so, so yeah, I am one of the things that I've kind of what I see often when we are in those general assemblies and we have people wanting to go on stage and talk about why they want this position. What I always miss is that they say, this is the mistakes I made, and this is what I learned. Because
Right.
basically, that is everything we've done. JCI is a sandbox. It's our safe place. It's where we can mess up. It's where we do our mistakes. It's where we make projects go thousands of dollars in no thousands. Yeah, no, hundreds of dollars.
Either way, impressive.
And going the wrong way. And if you did this at work, you would be fired. In JCI, they say, okay, this didn't go well. Let's talk about it and see how we can make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Not penalizing you for performance, but using it as a teaching moment to help gain those skills and make them stronger.
Yes.
That's really wonderful.
And sometimes you want to make yourself better at something that you're good at. And sometimes you want to just get a whole new skill.
Right.
But if you're not good at, running uphill, but your skill is running fast down, then you should, you maybe you shouldn't try to be better running uphill. Maybe just, get better running downhill.
Mhm.
So it's a part where how can you work together, and to understand that we have a lot of different personality types.
Sure.
I am all over the place, plenty of ideas, and that's how I met Charlie, and like networking and doing crazy things. And then I need someone who is with the Excel sheets and going like, okay, to do this, you actually need to do this and this. Sorry.
I'm the Excel sheet person.
Yeah.
But this is great about JCI because you have teams of all these different personalities, and we learn actually how to complement each other. And
Right.
there's no right way or wrong way to lead. People, usually people expect, if you're an introvert, you can't be a leader. That's false. There
Right.
are plenty of great introverted leaders, and I think JCI teaches us that. I don't know if you agree, Evie.
Yeah. It's kind of a forced learning opportunity.
It's jump starting.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's like you are in JCI, you are never ready for any task. It's like, but you have someone saying, I believe in you.
You can do this.
You can do this, or we need someone. We don't have anyone, so you'll do. And
Voluntold.
yeah, but at the same time, it's this that has been my journey, and I've started being scared of telling who I am to ending my career as being the national president of JCI Norway, which I was never supposed to do. And
But here you are.
yes, and here I am. And
Wow.
basically, because I've done all of those projects, by doing something called Settlers Day, I've been doing the national conventions and regional conferences and stuff like that. And because of that, I applied for a work as a project leader. I have no project education. And from one day to the other, I made 15,000 more a year.
Wow. That's wonderful.
So that's 10 years of JCI stuff doing on my free time and giving me 15,000 more a year.
That is I mean, that's life-changing. Like, just hearing how, being a part of something and learning those skills can help you in other, like, facets of your life. I think that's when you apply it to the game jam, and we had talked about all those different type of personality types, and you're all working together on a game, and maybe you've never met these people before, and someone's really strong and bullheaded, and learning how to navigate those conversations is vital to your success as a business person, in a game jam, just in life, to navigate those hard personalities.
We also have academies where you are put through the fire.
No! Trial by fire.
There we have academies. One of them, and the best one that I went to, is in Sweden, where you're actually put under pressure all the time and see how you cope, and see
Wow.
how you interact. And they also give you a personality type of test. So see how you interact with other people, see what you're best at. And it's like just Evie was saying, sometimes, if you're a fish, you shouldn't try to climb a tree because you're not able to. It's not
Right. Do what you
that, right?
can.
And you should just focus on getting better at swimming.
Exactly. And also, I'm thinking, talking about European Academy. I did that in 2006 because I'm a dinosaur. But the best academy I was in was this CO Academy, which is learning how to do like big events like yours. And I've understood that there are many small places doing this like all around the world. And to be at the CO Academy for those would be amazing. And I mean,
Wow.
it's the most intense I've ever been through. European Academy, that's left hand work. Sorry, but that's really is amazing. And we went from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, worked all night doing our presentations, and it was crazy. I slept like 18 hours in 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
But
it's
you find sides of your personality you didn't know you have.
Sure.
I think for me, it really also depends on the where you are in your life, because I've seen people go to these academies and not have the same impact. So
Oh.
when you know the saying, I think I'm gonna quote Kung Fu Panda, but
I love it. Do it.
but when the pupil is ready, the teacher appears. So to be able to really really get the message of an academy that really puts a mirror in front of you and shows
Right.
you certain things that you're good at and certain things that not at all good at. I think you have to be in the place of your life where you are accepting of that, and where you start to love yourself and understand yourself. And I think that's a big part of your journey. And talking about mental health, which is such a big and an important discussion we're having right now at a global level, I think accepting and loving yourself is part of that. And I think JCI helps you with that journey, because you start to understand who you are and who you're not. And if you're fish
Right.
with feathers, that's also fine. Sometimes you are a fish with feathers.
But
Can
yeah,
you talk?
I'm thinking about all of those. If we kind of thinking JCI and Game Jam and kind of everything there. So if you think of a team, it would be amazing if you had one kind of salesperson, someone who has been training
Sure.
in public speaking, and then you have someone with their Excel sheets going like, okay, we need to do this and this before we do that. And then you of course have your, do you call them creative people, those who are making the games? I'm not
Yeah, like
into.
there's a ton of different facets. People that are coding, people that are
Yeah,
drawing. Like there's like all the skills are
yeah.
needed, and it's really fascinating.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking if we ever had like an event where, you get some people who have been into JCI stuff, and then you have the other ones. And of course, we merge them together, and we can do, and you have the creative young entrepreneurs. We can have like sponsors and like a Shark Tank almost. And yeah, I'm the bubbly one, and she's
I
sitting there
love
like, okay,
no,
slow
no,
down.
no, I'm good. I love it, Evie, that you went to Creative Young Entrepreneur. That's the second conversation I wanted to have with you. So, Creative Young Entrepreneur is a business plan competition for existing companies. So the company has to exist. It can't be, an
New.
idea. So this is a competition that JCI is running, and the price for area, and when we mean area, it's mainly continents, is $5,000. You can win $5,000 at the area competition, and
Wow.
$10,000 when you go to the global competition. Uh, from the jury, we will also have angel investors. So beyond the cash money, which is always welcome,
Yeah, who doesn't love that?
you will have an opportunity to be seen by angel investors that might be interested to actually invest in your entrepreneurial journey and take you to that level. You
Wow.
also get access to the master classes that are included in that fee, and you get special mentoring from the people. If you're selected in the finalist, you get mentoring before actually the competition to learn how to pitch better and to improve your pitch and to improve your business plan. So by the time you enter the competition, you are at your possible best. So for you guys, the competition opens on the 20th of February.
Okay.
Remember that date. For you guys, you get a 10% discount for all registrations coming in from with a special promo code with we will share. And so don't hesitate. You really, really want to be a part of this. From the people that have already, I think we have, this is our third edition. So the people that have already been through this, and there are 75 last year, and the year before that we had 50.
Wow.
People have learned how to make it better and how to
Yeah.
reach audiences and how to go out there and just present their business and get funded, because that's at the end of the day the hardest part.
And that's what people need is like they have this great like business plan, but they just don't have that extra oomph to get it where it could
I will
be.
tell you one thing that our partners, the World Business Angels Forum, have told us. We are partners with them, so they are part of this competition. And they said, you know what? We don't invest in a business plan. We always invest in a person. So that's a tip for you.
Yes.
They
Yes.
don't really care about the business plan. But if they think that you are the kind of person that can take a business to a next level, they will invest in
Mhm.
you. And even if they have to change your business altogether, because usually experienced people. So keep that in mind. They invest in the person, not the business.
Wow. So, with this, what does someone need to bring to the table? Is it just a whole business plan and then they're pitching it, or like
Business plan,
what's that process look like?
you have to submit the business plan. It's of course open to 18 to 40-year-olds. You have to
Mhm.
submit your business plan. You have to submit also a video pitching your business and a form. There's a form that you have to fill out and a $100 registration fee. So it's not extraordinary. Everybody
Right.
who's starting a business has that money. And for you guys, remember 10% discount. Yay! You get coffee is on us. So, but I'm sure you have $100 to take your business to a whole new level,
Right.
and where your business is, because that's also an experience. You know what? You might not win, but at least if you give it a chance, you will find out where you are with this. You know, you will
Right.
get some feedback and just get better every day.
And I think feedback from professionals who have been there, they know what they're talking about. That's invaluable to help you grow as you're an individual and grow your business. Um,
And I also will say about not only creating young entrepreneurs, correct me if I'm wrong, but also like national conventions, European conferences, World Congress, everything, almost everything is done from members on their spare time. There's very
Evie,
few of us getting, yep.
Evie wants you guys to join everything tomorrow.
But
Tomorrow's your
I
deadline.
remember the first time I was at the European conference, it was in Tallinn in 2006. And they had this huge welcoming opening ceremony. And I was crying because everyone who was working in that conference was doing it on their spare time. They're not paid, working their asses off. And the program was amazing.
Right.
And I was back there at the World Congress in 2019. And it was, I mean, I get chills even talking about it now.
We
So
have
just
these
have that
great
in mind also.
we have
Oh,
these great events that are back in person. That, oh, thank God. Yes, because yeah, we miss having other people. We're young. We like to spend time together in the same.
yeah, being in person.
Yeah, so we're
And
back.
the best parties are in JCI. That's true.
We
I'm
are.
glad I'm 40 because I
Also,
cannot party like that anymore.
that is also a leadership opportunity. We have this, it's called Global Village. It's at our World Congress. And all these countries, each country brings food and drinks from their own, from back home. So
Wow.
trust me, you go around the world, and usually stop halfway. You can't
You
go.
can't. Yeah.
It's impossible. It's really impossible. But yeah, it's worth seeing. And if you guys have time to join a JCA event this year, it happens to be a European conference. It happens to be in my home, and that is in Bucharest, Romania. So you can find it there. For Africa and Middle East, it's in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. So it's going to be a gorgeous location.
Oh yeah.
And then for the Americas, correct me if I'm wrong, Natalia, my colleague here, where is our conference for the Americas? It's in Colombia.
Ooh.
A very cool destination as well. They're all in May. You can find all the information on our website. So if you guys want to, you can contact me directly. And our World Congress is in Zurich. So if you guys are interested to join this, it's definitely worth seeing. It usually 3 to 4 days, and yeah, it's quite impressive. You have in Asia and Pacific, you have 4,000 people joining. In Europe, you have 1,500, and
Wow.
it's quite a place to be.
It's amazing.
I know the question I have off the top of my head though. Why 18 to 40? Why does it cut off at 40?
Yes, it seems unfair, and I think Evie will agree. I turn 30 next year, by the way, so I'm not that far off.
If we take it all the way back into the beginning, it was actually the Chamber of Commerce that saw what Gesenberg was doing, who is the founder of JCI. And it kind of like, he saw this organization, and what they did was kind of like the step beneath the Chamber of Commerce. So that was called a junior chamber. So basically, when you have taken in all you can get, all the parties, all the experience, all the fun, all the networks, everything, until you're up to here and you're 40, then it's kind of like, okay, now you have everything you need. Go and change the world. So basically, that's why 18 to 40.
I see.
And you get exhausted by partying.
And this is a very good point that Evie is making. We want our members to be successful in the real world. We don't want to create bubbles where people are happy. We want to develop our members so they are developed and they can apply those skills in their chosen profession or in their business, in their family even, because the skills you get you can apply with your family and with your friends and be more understanding and understand different types of personalities. So I really think it's important to tell you that we are in charge of developing people. And then we think maybe by the time you're 40,
You've learned it.
Go out in the world. But you know
You're
what?
ready.
When you're 30. So people, I don't think I feel very ready to adult. But
it's like asking an adult, oh geez, that's me now.
No.
But also it's the 1 year to lead. Have you talked about that one? Yes. So no one is getting stuck somewhere. So
right. You're constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So the idea is not necessarily to be good at the position that you're in. You're in that position to learn it.
Sure.
And when you finally start to get it, it's time to move on to the next one. And that's hilarious. And that's actually how you get outside of your comfort zone and how you learn things. And as Evie said, I've seen introverts, I've seen people who are terrified of public speaking, absolutely terrified of public speaking. I've seen them in 2 to 3 years in JCI give speeches on stage. And that's incredible to see how people can evolve.
Wow. I love this.
Say that JCI is an organization without elbows. I don't know if there's an English, but like you have those, you see them even in kindergarten, and like, oh, I'm gonna get somewhere. But in JCI, I feel like every time, as you say, you see someone's developing, I'm crying. I'm a crier. That's how it is. And you see someone who's been working, and suddenly that it just clicks and everything's in place, and that is amazing. And since it's also 1 year to lead, that okay, I will have my chance.
You'll learn those skills.
Yeah.
if you guys allow, I'll just want to show you our leadership masterclasses website, so you're aware of what to expect when you go online. Is that's
Sure.
that for you?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Now I might make things like, no, not. Can I share screen? I will share screen. Now you guys will see my lack of technical capacity, and you will see, that what they call my people of this age, they call us geriatric millennials,
No.
which I never thought was a thing, but apparently I'm a geriatric. I am a millennial, but I'm an old millennial.
I think I'm a middle of the road millennial. We'll see.
Okay, so I managed, I think. Are you guys seeing this? Hopefully.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it's loading. There we
so
are. Yep.
so you go online to masterclasses.jci.cc, and you will have this limited time offer, the masterclass bundle that you can access for $120. And these are the master classes that we're talking about. These are the first two. Another two are coming, the global change maker and the global communicator. If you enjoy these two, you can further buy the other ones. These are some videos just to give you a little bit of a taste of what's happening. You'll see you have a great trainer in a global entrepreneur, and that is myself. And I'm just kidding. I don't think that highly of myself. But you will have to get an account with the platform, because otherwise we're not able to, give you access to the master classes. And payment, it does say PayPal, but if you insert your email address, you can just pay with your credit card. You don't need a PayPal account. So sorry for being very technical, but I just wanted to make sure you guys would know how to use the website. So now I'll stop screen sharing for the nice conversation.
No, thank you. And just to reiterate, for anyone who might just be joining us now, we're partnering with JCI. There's a great offer. So 2 master classes, right, for 100 and was it 25?
120, even
Yeah,
lower.
120. Oh my gosh. So, and what kind of skills can we expect to learn in each of those master classes?
So the first one is global entrepreneur, and what it teaches is everything you need to know. It's based on modules, so it starts with the basics. It starts with the business plan. It starts with what you should do, where you should start, how to do it. Then it goes into partnerships and stakeholders, and how you can do stakeholder mapping. It goes into financial planning. So it's basically, I would say, it's most appropriate to be done by somebody in the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey, or somebody who wants to have an entrepreneurial mindset, because a lot of these principles can be applied to your job. If you are working with somebody who really encourages entrepreneurship, and this is very in now with these big corporations, I think these master classes will actually help you see your projects and whatever you're running as a business, and see all
Right.
the
Especially
second.
when, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, when a lot of people they turn their passion into their business, they don't know how to start with the basics of business planning. So that's just a great way to learn.
Because we all have passions, and some of our passion might make us money, and some of
Mhm.
our passions won't. And that's the reality. And I think it's very good to have those classes and go through all these processes that you have to go through for your business, so that maybe at the end of these classes you'll have an answer for yourself, if
Yep.
you're ready, and if that passion you have can actually make you money. You know what I mean? And it comes from people who, as I've said, we're not, you know, um, children of millionaires.
I wish.
About these humongous businesses that you think, the difference between myself. I always I find it funny that people quote Steve Jobs so much, but I'm like, we can't all be Steve Jobs. There's only
Nope.
one.
There's only one Steve Jobs.
I need a model that's more relatable to me, that I can really believe that I can achieve what that person is saying. And if you guys are like that and want to hear from people that you can really relate with, that's the best way to go, because we are like you.
That's wonderful. And then the second class, or that was offered.
The second class is the Global Networker, and it really talks about networking, and the basics of it, and how to use it, how to engage with people, how to make an impression. I don't know if you guys know about that book, is How to Make Friends and Influence People.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Amazing book. It's very old, but it's still very good. Networking is something that some people do naturally. Some people are naturally better, uh,
Mhm.
but some people need to develop that muscle, that skill of,
Right.
making an impression. And then networking has to have a purpose, because back in the day, I was always like, I have these, I do network, but the results are not there. And then I realized that when I network with people in certain situations, I don't have, it's not clear to me what the pitch is, what the goal is, and it's okay. People say, "Oh, it's not okay to meet somebody with a goal in mind," but it is, and it's
Yeah.
it's okay to do that. You can build relationships like that. It's nothing
Mhm.
bad. So we talk about the elevator pitch, and how to make it happen. We talk about interpersonal skills that you can develop, from how to shake a hand, and it is important. It is important. And about the global side of networking, because you have to also be very, very aware of cultural differences, and what is
Yep.
appropriate and what is inappropriate.
Absolutely. I had my partner Drew, he told me a story of his uh boss at the time accepted a business card incorrectly from one of their Japanese clients, and I didn't even know there was a correct way to accept this. I like
The first
just
thing that you learn in JCI.
yeah. And it's like, wait, there's a wrong way to
There's a really
take
wrong way. Yes.
it?
There's actually a wrong way to take a business card from a Japanese person, and the way you take it in your hand.
Two hands and you read it.
Yes. You have to read it, and you have to compliment, like, ideally you compliment them something on the card. So you
Oh,
see
I
the
love
logo.
this
Oh,
accent
you see
or
his name, and there you go, like, "Oh, Diana," and you look into the eyes, into the card, and say, "Nice to meet you." So you acknowledge that moment. You
okay.
acknowledge the person. It's not just like a European or American. Yeah, 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 let's just
Put
spread
in
it
your wallet.
hours, no, it has to be a moment where you acknowledge the person in front of you, and it's very important to do so. And they will
Right.
do the same. They will do the same. And then you take the card, and you can't just throw it in somewhere. You have to have a holder or something, and be very respectful of where you put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's wonderful that you teach that in that class.
No, not necessarily in that class, also in that class, but we teach that in JCI as well. So,
Yeah.
and you get to practice it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think even as being a Norwegian and talking to others in Europe, there is a huge difference. Um,
Really?
oh yeah, I have been perceived as rude and a bully,
Oh
and
my
it's kind of
gosh.
like, how did this happen? And basically, it's because I would never write an email standing with, "Hello, how are you? What you doing? And how's your family?" Yada yada. I'd never do
Oh,
that.
sure. Go right
I
to the
always go
point.
like, "When's the time? Can you give me?" And for Irish, and I think maybe other places as well, is like, you cannot do that. And for me,
Wow.
it's like, I just I don't want to bother you. I don't want to take your time. I just want to ask you the question, and when you come back to me, then we can be polite. And so, so it's more like that. I have a situation from the last night at the European conference, and I knew that my vice president had my Norwegian flag. So I saw she was talking to someone, and I, like I just touched on the shoulder and said, "Do you have the flag?" And she was like, "Of course I have the flag." And she was everything. But for me, it was like, why? I just needed to know if you had it, because if you didn't have it, then I need to go somewhere to try to find it. I
Yep,
didn't
yep.
expect her to drop everything. And she said was like, if someone from Ireland did that, I would call her something bad and I would kind of hate her forever. But since it's you, and I know that you're Norwegian, and we've been talking for half a year and understand that this is just your culture. So basically, all of these things, they learn that we are not rude, we are just being efficient, and that
Yeah.
we are very direct in the communication, because whenever I open up an email from JCI, the first 3 lines are just sorry.
Greetings.
It's a greeting.
Greetings. And it says the same thing. So I have to open every email and check what's actually is in here. Whereas when I write an email, I make sure that my line in the top says the
That's
date
the,
and time and whatever.
that's the great thing about JCI, is that there is no right or wrong way.
Yeah.
It's just, the generally accepted way. And then you try to find this balance of, okay, this is what will mostly be considered okay. So this is what we're using. And the reason those kinds of emails with a big intro is that usually that is what is considered generally accepted culturally,
Just not
globally.
in Norway.
But what is great about that, and I want to make a point of it, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to go global, because that's what all entrepreneurs want to,
Sure.
it's very important to learn that. It's super important to adapt to a different culture, and to be okay with, this is my style, but I have to be respectful of other people, and I will change my
Mhm.
adapt my style so that other people can also be comfortable. And I think this is one of the great things you learn in JCI, and you will learn also in the global networker course, is how to be mindful and also be aware of what the pitch is. Why are you
Right.
networking with these people? And I think we have great testimonials here of why we love this organization. And I think everybody watching is like, are they in a sect? No, it's not a sect. So don't worry about that part. But it is a bubble in some ways
Yeah.
of people who have share common values. And I think that's very important.
Absolutely. And like just learning that there's different ways to do things depending on your country is it's so interesting. I'm over here because I'm in the US and we're kind of separated a little bit, but not really. Like people will say if you're from the Midwest, they call it Midwest nice. And New Yorkers have a reputation for being really rude and mean, very straight to the point. And so it's very similar. But yeah, it's just these skills that you didn't realize you needed when you're
For
pitching
example,
your stuff.
in Europe, add to that, so of course the Southern Europeans are considered to be very extroverted, very passionate, very all over the place.
Yeah.
Great. Then you have the Nordics, who are more distant physically. They won't, not necessarily everybody, but usually they will be more distant. And they're not very all over the place, right? And then you'll have all these, you'll have the German efficients, and then the Swiss time, and you have all these dynamics all over Europe. But to add to that, you have all the European languages. So unlike the US, where there's a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
We also speak different languages, so we have
Yep.
to find common ground. Also, uh, keeping in mind that we are not speaking in our native language, and I think
Right.
that's also, I've seen people develop their English very fast in JC.
Really? Wow.
They needed to communicate.
Right, right. Yeah,
I,
because
I
in the US, we just have dialects. We don't necessarily have a different language unless you're in New Orleans.
I
But
I
yeah.
had to learn. I haven't spoken French, I think, since I was in high school where I took it. And then I haven't spoken it for years. And at one point, I became friends with the president of JCI France. And I so wanted to speak to him. And he had no idea how to speak English, that I actually spoke French. And
Wow.
I think under no other circumstance would I have embarrassed myself with my French skills.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
It's
these
not
are such
getting out of
great.
your comfort zone.
Yeah, like getting out of your comfort zone, learning these soft skills, like that's so important when you apply it to a game jam because like you need to talk to different people. You need to be able to learn how to pitch, to write emails, like to communicate your thoughts to people of different cultures and backgrounds. That is so important and yeah, there's just so much benefit. I'm really glad I got to talk to you guys. Wow.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stayed with me was somebody told me, where the most amazing ideas are, and I asked where, and they said the cemetery, and I said, oh my God, why? Because people never learned how to share them with the world. So
Oh,
the idea is not enough,
yeah,
learning to share it, learning to get other people to share in your idea and in your dream, and getting others maybe to support it and maybe to fund it.
absolutely.
Super important. So this is what JCI is for. We're about leadership development and holistic leadership development.
And if you
Well,
kind of if you take um, everything down to the community part, which I also mentioned, is that you could have small communities. Like in my town, we have around 25,000 inhabitants, and
mhm,
and then you can't do like the huge projects. But we made a project called Settlers Day, which is basically showing those who are new to the city what's here. We
mhm.
started that in 2005, and we invited all of the organizations like the stamp collectors, the gardening people, the football and some companies. And we have just one main street. So it's called Main Street. That's what we have.
Yep. I live in a small town like that too.
Yeah. And everyone got the 3 by 3 square meters for their stand. I only pay like $50 for it. And it lasts for 5 hours. And we have sponsors and everything like that. So in 5 hours, it takes us, of course, around half a year in preparations. And in that time, we usually make around $8,000. and
Wow.
and and whenever we are making money in JCI, it's not going inside someone's pocket. It goes inside the organization, and then we can use that money to give out to cover travel expenses or to be able to go to the different conferences. And everything that we do is something that we can take with us, big or small, back to the workplace that we have. So it's not
Right.
like it's not just a hobby. It's a hobby with some kind of like what do you call, not evil intentions, but good intentions. You always have something like back thought. It's called in Norwegian, but I have no idea how to say that in English. But you don't just do it to be nice. You have a plan in back.
I know French, but I can't do Norwegian. I'm sorry. But thank you so much, Mac, for having us. And we're so excited about this partnership. And I hope you guys get to reach out. You can reach out to me and find me, find just my name on Facebook or LinkedIn. And if you guys are interested to know more beyond our special offer, please reach out and let me know.
Yeah, can you, tell us where they can reach out, find, their local, JCI chapter? And, one more time, in case anyone's just joining us, can you reiterate the offer that we're, partnering with you with?
So go on masterclasses.ci.cc and you can find two amazing masterclass courses, one on entrepreneurship and the other one on networking. Each of them are worth $75 normally. But for you guys, for the jammers, for a limited time offer, we will offer a bundle price of $120 for both.
Ooh.
Keep in mind that come February 20th, you can find on the website the promo code to enter a global competition for the best entrepreneurs, the most creative ones, and test your business ideas with actual business angel investors and get a chance to win $5,000 or $10,000.
Ooh, very cool. And a good contact for you if they have any questions or anything?
Just contact me at if my name is pretty unique. So if you will Google me, you will find me on LinkedIn. You will find me on Facebook. So please feel free to add me and write to me. But also, I will leave you my email address. There you go. Where should I write it?
Oh, yeah, that's fine, and they'll put it in the chat.
Okay, so you can just include it and feel free to email me and ask more about JCI and how you can get in contact with your local organization. I can help you with that. I can help you put get you guys off to your leadership journey.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Evie, for joining us today and just empowering us to learn more about JCI. I'm already very inspired, so I'm going to look up to see if there's a local chapter near me. So thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day and an amazing time to jam.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.